Okay, so you guys remember a month ago, I went to the Winter Poda Fest in Akihabara, Japan, right? And aside from all the cool new audio gear that I featured with my own video, check that out if you haven't, there's another tease about someone that I met. Let me play that part for you.
And I met with some big figures, let me tell you.
Well, if you're not familiar, that is the CEO of Moondrop, Herbert Zhang. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Sorry, very sorry if I did. But henceforth, I will address him as Herbert. Make it easy. But yes, he made an appearance in that convention, and in fact, it was one of the main reasons that I arranged to get myself to that convention. Because at that time, I had many final exams coming up, and the weekend was supposed to be the time for me to review for it. But instead, I skipped reviewing for my finals to go review some finals. Final audio stuff, that is. You can laugh now. But anyways, I was able to meet up with Herbert and secured some time to basically do a pseudo interview kind of thing with him. And honestly, I don't think I did a good job. I didn't bring my mic, so the audio's kind of bad. I didn't prepare many good questions, so I was kind of winging it. And since there was a bit of a language barrier, it took some time for us to converse with each other. Herbert was also a bit camera shy, but nevertheless, he was absolutely forthcoming with information, and he spoke with great passion for what he had created, and just overall an absolute pleasure to talk to. So I'm really thankful for Herbert to giving us the time and the opportunity to do this, and I'm sure our viewers and your customers in the global market appreciate your frequent communications with us. Now, I'm sure Herbert could have spent all day explaining to me about how IEMs work, how they're created, if I had enough technical knowledge to really understand it. But with our limited time and my limited abilities, I think I've secured some good bits of info and a bit more insight into the creator of what is currently one of the most sought after Chi-Fi brands in the market. So without further ado, let's begin. Now, here's how I'm gonna do this. Since my quote-unquote interview was pretty poorly executed, really sorry for that, I will take snippets of the footage that I was able to acquire when it is relevant to show it, and I will fill in the rest with my impression of my time spent with Herbert, as well as interpreting some of his responses, because at points the audio was kind of bad, and our language barriers meant that it took some translating to fully understand the meaning. And first, well, I asked him about how Moondrop came to be, what inspired him to create the Moondrop that we know today, and the response is this.
When I created this company, there is no good IEM for me.
Oh, good
So
for you.
I want to make something that I like. Before us, there is no IEM with reference sound. A reference sound like a diffuse field. We want to get some better, but it's very hard, so we are working for that.
Essentially, he saw that there were no IEMs with a more neutral style of tuning in the market, which was more of his preference, and so he set out to make his own IEMs to fulfill that need. It's a very organic feeling, I think, something that a lot of fellow audiophiles have probably considered at one point in time or another. And that's how a lot of brands in the Chi-Fi world got their start. Just some people who appreciate and want to become a part of this hobby themselves. Next, I wanted to hear a bit more about the thought process behind the creation of the Moondrop May, which at that time was Moondrop's newest release.
The traditional IEM, traditional wired IEM, not very easy to use. And we want to make something for loud, better sound than wireless earphone. USB-C. USB-C is wired and
Convenient, right?
Bendy.
Convenient. Yeah. And more convenient than normal wire. There is no 3.5 and 4.4.
It seemed that Herbert, what he meant was that with most smartphones foregoing the 3.5mm connector, he wanted a product that was more plug and play compared to the usual wired IEMs, and hopefully match the convenience of wireless products whilst delivering higher audio fidelity. Additionally, he also had this to say, which entails that the DSP in the Moondrop May helps it achieve a tuning style that normal, passive, and physical tuning methods can't do, which I guess is a similar premise to other DSP releases from Moondrop. And personally, having bought and reviewed the Moondrop May, check that out again, I'd say he did pretty good on fulfilling what he set out to do. I also did try to ask if the inner components of the Moondrop May are similar to the C Audio Ringo, given that they sport the same one dynamic driver, one planar setup. And here's what Herbert had to say about that.
The dynamic driver in May is very different. But the planar driver it's same. It's that same
Planar driver is the same, but
Yeah.
dynamic driver, Moondrop.
Yeah.
And although I haven't taken the IEMs apart, having heard both the Moondrop May and the Ringo, I can say that they do not sound the same even when you take off the DSP and plug it in 3.5mm. And it seems that the Moondrop dynamic driver being used is performing at a higher level than that of the Ringo. Now, the next item I wanted to know about was collaborations. As you know, Moondrop now have a catalog of collaborations with other brands and IPs, from the Shanling M3X collaboration music player, to the unusual Droplet One Bounce Armature IEM, to the slew of reskinned Moondrop Neko cakes and space travels, to collabs with the likes of gachas like Girls Around Line and Punishing Grey Raven. Now, I asked whether we would see collabs with Tangent, and here's the response.
There are someone in the Tangent team. They're my friend. And know each other for about 10 years.
10 years.
So
We share the technology.
Technology share. So we already have some idea for collaboration. And it's very hard for business matters. There are some business matters.
The way we sell our products, it's the style we selling the products of our company is quite different from.
We are two different companies in the same market. So if we made a collaborate product, collaboration together, the biggest trouble. How to balance the business.
It's very difficult to keep balanced. The money we made is very hard to decide how many percent.
We have already made a design for the collaboration product, but we didn't finish the
Business.
yet.
So the gist of it is, as for Tangent, Moondrop actually already have a collaboration product planned out already, but the issue is on business side, right? And perhaps profit sharing and distribution, which they can't agree on just yet. So hopefully these troubles will be worked out and we'll get that collaboration in the future, because I've owned stuff from both Tangent and Moondrop, and I would love to see both companies bringing the best that they have into one product. I also asked for any future collaborations that Herbert can review, but he could not say because there are NDAs about this, so oh well. And well, that's about it for the on-camera parts. We talked a bit further off camera, and Herbert did reveal to me that the Moondrop Para headphones, they aren't just named Para because it's shorthand for paradise. It's also because it stands for Neko Para, which I'm sure if you're a weeb, and I am, you'll definitely be loving that. Herbert is a true weeb, so Moondrop got the weeboo vote for sure. And another tidbit is of his favorite IMs. And well, first he said to me that he loves the newest thing that he makes, which is kind of dodging the question, but I guess it also does make sense, right? He wouldn't release a new product that he could not like, so you'll get whatever the CEO likes the most when you buy the newest Moondrop product. But later on, he did say that he has a bit of a preference with the Moondrop Kato, which was also my all-time favorite from Moondrop's catalog. Now, at the PotoFest, of all the things he tried, Herbert said that he was most impressed with the Final Audio D8000, which I've also tried, and I do have some thoughts about it in the impressions video, so check that out. But yeah, all that being said, once again, I give thanks to Herbert for being so kind and forthcoming, and I would love to meet again in the future, and I wish him and Moondrop the best of luck in their work. And I thank you viewers for tuning in and hope that you'll stick around for more reviews in the future. If you want to see the full interview footage, flawed as it may be, I have included them in my Patreon, so you can check that out for extra little details in the full story. Otherwise, this is Numerion, signing off.